Hey everybody, welcome back. Psychedelic here. Got a vinyl update for you today, and this time we're going to be doing the online finds. Some of these go way back, like almost 2 months ago before my Chicago trip, so finally kind of shining some light on them. Got a little stack here, and I actually received one of these in the mail today. It's kind of a discovery I knew about for a long time, but it finally reeled me in, and I was like, I gotta get this. And before I start, too, also I want to apologize if I sound a little hoarse or if I can't keep up, like as far as like my normal pacing goes. It's because I have a pretty severe case of the allergies going on. My voice is just so hoarse; it sounds like I've been smoking for like a week now. So, or maybe I have. No, but. Yeah, allergies, they usually don't kick in till like August or September for me, so I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of cotton flying around, and maybe that has something to do with it. Just spending too much time outside and gotta stay inside and cool off, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, let's get started here. Let's dive in. So if I forget some details on these records, I feel like I'm going to. Yeah, like I said, just hadn't kept up with them as far as like all the details, like as far as remembering them. But especially this first one. But this is Rob Joestar Band. I think this came out in '75. See, like I said, I'm gonna be a little spotty in places, but yeah, this is a reissue. Came out in like 2015, a small label, and I think they've reissued this again recently. Band based out of France. I forget where in France, but yeah, so it's kind of an interesting record. I kind of just stumbled upon this looking at a user's Rate Your Music ratings, and cover just kind of stood out to me. I was kind of intrigued by it and saw it was listed as like psych rock, garage rock, so had to kind of scoop it out online, and I liked what I heard pretty much all the way through. So it's basically kind of a combination of like electronics mixed with this kind of garage punk sound. A lot of punky vocals, punky attitude to it, with very much a Zamrock production sound. A lot of stuff kind of sounds dry, and it almost sounds like the electronics were like overlaid after the sessions were done or something. It's got that kind of production to it. But yeah, I don't know if these guys will later do something else after this, but some great highlights on here, especially side B, Acid Revolution, Bloodflower, Black Sun. Some kind of cool titles there. But even the opening tracks, I Call on One's Muse, Rob Joestar Band, they have a very, like, their English is pretty bad, but they're trying all they can to spit these words out. But yeah, like I said, really worth looking into. If I had to kind of compare them to anybody, I mean, I would say for an easy comparison, Simply Saucer, but these guys definitely don't have the energy nearly as much as them guys, but it's still very kind of interesting blend. I don't know what kind of garage band I would compare them to. Just kind of a unique sound altogether. Palm label. Sound quality is pretty good on this. I found this for like $15 shipped online, and that's exactly what I wanted to pay. I'm glad I picked that up. And I think this is around the same region these guys were from. So I was doing a little more digging around on Discogs and was kind of scouting out this record label, like what their latest release was on this Russian bootleg label. Because I was pretty surprised what they reissued last time. I picked up Night Shadow. And I think they also released Billy Nichols, which is definitely one I'd like to pick up down the road, if possible. It's very high in demand, but this is one I had never seen before, at least I don't remember. And I picked up on this. This is a kind of more recent repress of this. I think it might be the first repress ever of this record. Is a friend, the Parlour Man. And this band's based out of Jersey, not the Jersey you're thinking of, but Jersey, the Channel Islands, kind of near France. And sound quality is pretty good. I mean, I don't have any complaints about it. Given their name, Audio Clarity, but I've heard some people kind of complain about it. It sounds not up to par, but so far I've had no problem. But yeah, it's kind of a gatefold cover. I think this originally came out on Dram, and this band would later become a band called O. That was actually their name, a band called O. And this came out in like 71 or 2, but they definitely have some remnants of like, that kind of late 60s sound, lots of Hammond organ going on. I would primarily call this progressive rock, but they definitely have some psych leanings. Lots of adventurous kind of progressive pop writing. Stuff that, you kind of wish you would hear on the radio, but just didn't get picked up, didn't get promoted at the time. And it's not a very eye-catching cover either. It just doesn't really stick with you, But if I had some highlights, I have a lot of highlights on side 2. What's the track? Little Goldie and Evening on side 2. One of the tracks kind of reminds me of that song Spooky. It's got that kind of same rhythm to it by Classics 4. But yeah, if you want to pick this one up, Parlour Man. Full album is on YouTube. And it might take a while to sink in, but it's kind of got this kind of laid back feel to it as well. It's not really like hard, heavy prog, but like I said, it's got some pop elements working for it, which kind of, make things move a little faster, I think. Okay, this next one here, this is one I've been kind of hoping to wait to score it on original copy, if only I could, but I'd have to make a travel out to Fort Dodge, Iowa for this one. Because our good buddy Cosmic Vinyl, he found an original sealed copy one time of this bad boy, Shadrach Chameleon. This is a reissue from Gear Fab. Came out in '98. Now, I have a little complaint on this one. The album advertised online acted as though it was the Outsider reissue, and this is the Gear Fab. And unfortunately, I had to have a partial refund on that. Not only that, it's got kind of a slight warp to it now. And it was still sealed too, which is kind of odd. I don't know if it was like, baking in the post office or something, but yeah, it's got a little bit of a warp to it, but it still plays fine, But the sound quality is not up to par. It's already kind of like a low production sound, kind of a lo-fi sound, but overall wasn't very happy. But till then, if I spot an Outsider reissue or original copy floats my way, that'll be the day. But still happy to have this, I guess, for the most part. Bought it pretty cheap. It was like $10 shipped. So Shadrach Chameleon. So they're based out of Iowa. I don't know if it was Fort Dodge, but they certainly had some connections there. This is kind of one of those records you look at. It might look like a hard rock thing, but they're definitely more of a laid-back kind of folk rock outfit. And if anything, it might be more considered like a solo record. The main guy behind this, I think his name's Steve Fox, pretty much wrote all these songs, kind of arranged them his own way, and very much inspired by like Neil Young and Crazy Horse. Is definitely the sort of vibe I get off this one. My favorite track, I think I kind of narrowed it down, Long Road to Ole Miss. The second track on side 1. Fantastic. Kind of moody, kind of downer, garagey folk rock. But it's also kind of got these, sort of soft prog elements floating through as well. Kind of jangly in spots, a lot of lengthy tracks on here. There's only 6 tracks. Some organ dominating, within the tracks. Very catastrophe-like. It's almost kind of like the end of the world's coming kind of sounds, like kind of vibe going on. I love this record. Some people it's kind of hit or miss. Some people don't get the vibe, but dude, this one's really grown on me over the years. I actually really like it now. Kind of curious to see what you guys think of this one, Shadrach Chameleon. They're actually just known as Shadrach, but they just kind of added Chameleon as like an afterthought. Was never really intended to be like their full name. So, hope to score one in Iowa someday. We'll see. It was released on the IGL label, which stands for Iowa Great Lakes. What's playing on the turntable right now? I picked this one up, just kind of spotted, just kind of scouting around eBay for, finding something cheap, and spotted this for 20 bucks. Buy it now, which is a fairly decent deal. It's still pretty relatively cheap record to get as far as like for what it is. And I gotta tell you guys, I kind of forgot what this sounded like, and I revisited it one evening, and I was just blown away, like how great this one is. The Face Dancers. This is playing on that turntable right now. This came out in '73. On the back it says '72, but I think that's when they probably recorded this. It was probably released early '73 on the Paramount label. And there's not a whole lot known about this group except they're from Philadelphia, and had no other projects after this. Previously, I think they were known as like this kind of comedy rock act. It's kind of what I gathered from online under a different name, but there's not a whole lot of humor thrown in this post-project, but definitely adventurous record. I would say it's very much progadelic. Lots of progressive writing. They sound nothing like a U.S. band. They definitely sound more German, almost krautrock inspired in spots, especially on that last track where it kind of goes all freeform, freak out sorts of sounds. And this track playing here at the very end, it's playing, but Dreamer's Lullaby, the second track, kind of might be my favorite off here. But yeah, lots of progressive writing, lots of sound effects moving throughout. They're kind of using like these blues structures a lot in these tracks, but they're kind of using them in like a mocking sort of way, kind of using them like very unconventionally, not in their most traditional way that most blues bands might go. But yeah, I highly recommend this one, man. This is really good. Doesn't say anything about the group or anything, just kind of displays them, shows the lyrics. That's all we got. So the producer of this album, where's his name at? Tio Makiro, I think that's the producer's name. He went on to produce, well, even before this one, he produced a lot of different Miles Davis records. I think he produced Bitches Brew. So it's kind of like the most famous figure on this record as far as like any connections. So the Face Dancers kind of looks more like a psych folk sort of record looking at that cover, but this is very adventurous prog psych, kind of very much reminiscent of like Bloomsbury People on MGM or Organ Grinders. You guys know that record. Very much in that light, I would say. Very zany, kind of cosmic, really something to absorb. So the Face Dancers. Picked up on this one cheap because I was just kind of listening to this. I think this is actually the last one I listened to on my last walk before I got allergies. And yeah, I had listened to this record a long time ago. I remember liking it, revisited it, really liked it, had to pick up a vinyl copy. This is Al Stewart with Love Chronicles. This is a UK copy. It's got a little damage right there. It's got a little scuff, but otherwise the vinyl plays great. This is a very great cheap record to pick up if you guys don't have it. Singer-songwriter, obviously, but also very folk rock at spots. It's got a near sidelong track, which is actually very enjoyable. You almost don't even realize it's a sidelong track because it kind of goes in these different passages and kind of just treks along really well. My favorite track on here, Life and Life Only. I think that track features Jimmy Page on guitar. Got the lyrics inside. I don't think the US copy had a gatefold. And the US copy was basically this image, but it also had like another image kind of overlaying this one. It's on Epic label. This is on CBS, on the orange label. So finally picked up on this one. It's kind of been something I've been trying to hunt down, just never see it, So I just kind of figured I couldn't pass it up for like $3 online. So nice pickup there. This one I'm kind of stoked about as well. But again, as far as advertising what you're listing for sale, this is also something that was advertised wrong. So, but it's the right record. It's definitely what I wanted, but not the exact pressing that I desired, I guess. This is Daedalus. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is the limited edition crystal vinyl version that I did not want. Not, like I said, not too huge on colored vinyl as far as that goes, but I'm stuck with it now. So I saw it for a great price. Reissues are kind of getting a little pricey out of hand as well. 40, 50 bucks. Just not down for that. Especially, when you only see like reissues of this kind of stuff, out of the States. It's hard to acquire, but found this for like 25 bucks. I was really digging it at the time. Couldn't pass it up. This is a reissue, I think came out a few years back. This is Italian prog. Italian progressive rock, kind of sort of a jazz rock sound as well. I would say if you guys enjoy stuff like Soft Machine's third record, this is very much in that light. This is very much the jazzy prog stuff that I really like. This album's just pure fire, man. The drummer, I forgot to look up his name yet, but let's see if I can find it on here. Percussion, Enrico Grosso. Fiery player, man. Very tight percussion going on. Just tight performances altogether. And just what an eye-striking cover that is, with the clocks for heads. So yeah, I got this in the mail today, so I'll be spinning this one. Haven't spun it yet, so I think this came out in '73, I want to say. So just kind of dipping my toes into like Italian prog. The only other one I was listening to lately was Gleeman, which came out in like early '70s as well. They later formed into Garibaldi. So yeah, just kind of dipping my toes into that stuff, and I wish I had more to say about it, but like I said, I kind of wanted to refresh my ears, like, because I heard it only one time in full, and I really, really liked it so much that I seeked a copy out, but I'll have to report back on it once I hear the vinyl version. So anyways, guys, that about wraps it up. So as far as my online finds go, I got a lot of great stuff to show my next round. Hopefully I feel better. Sorry if I'm a little hard to understand, but just gotta crank that volume. Yeah, about wraps it up. So thanks again, and we shall see you soon.